Central Oregon, a place of wonder, a place of unsurpassing beauty. It provides spectacular views and awe-inspiring vistas. It's a volcanic legacy of the recent and the distant past. It provides an unmatched place for recreation and outdoor sports. There are few places like it in the world.
I'd like to welcome you to a special presentation of Cascade Promenade, brought to you by the flagship of Bend, Oregon. Now, over the next half an hour or so, we're going to take you on a tour of some of the most beautiful scenery this area has to offer. You'll see some spectacular sights that so few around the country have had the opportunity to set their eyes on. So I'd like to invite you to sit back, relax with your family and friends, and enjoy some of the most spectacular scenery in the whole of the United States.
The Central Cascades are just west of Bend, Oregon. They comprise of over 10 volcanic mountains. The peak farthest to the north is Mount Jefferson, rising over 10,000 feet. The other mountains in this chain include Three-Fingered Jack, Mount Washington, the Belknap Shield volcano, the Three Sisters, Broken Top, Mount Bachelor, and Newberry National Monument. As we near the Central Cascades, you'll notice the gentle slopes of the striking mountain chain. Thousands of square miles of dense forests make this area unique among alpine locations in the United States. Timber from this area is shipped around the country and the world. As we swing around the south side of the Central Cascades, Mount Bachelor at 9,065 feet comes into view. It's the youngest volcano in the Cascades. Its almost perfect cone-like shape makes this mountain a mecca for winter sports. From skiing, both downhill and cross-country, to snowboarding, to dog sleds, Mount Bachelor provides a great place for those who enjoy their snow sports. In 1958, the first ski resort was established on the north side of the mountain, and it's been downhill ever since. After the summit ski lift was built, the mountain has been a winter attraction to people around the world. Since it's one of the most easterly Cascade mountains, its snow is drier and great for snowboarding and skiing. During the summer months, you can enjoy a view from the summit by daily chairlift rides to the top. The spring runoff from Mount Bachelor feeds many of the Cascade lakes, such as Elk Lake, Lava Lake, Crane Prairie Reservoir, and Rickyup Reservoir. These lakes provide a wealth of summer fishing and family enjoyment throughout the season. You can get to Mount Bachelor out of Bend by driving up Century Drive. This wonderful National Scenic Byway takes you between Mount Bachelor and the Three Sisters, then down through the Cascade Lakes. It's a wonderful day trip if you have the opportunity to drive it. Just north of Mount Bachelor are three volcanoes very close to each other. They are known as the Three Sisters. In the early days, they were known as Faith, Hope, and charity, named by members of the Methodist Mission in Salem, Oregon in the early 1840s. Each peak rises just above 10,000 feet and holds a wealth of views. The South Sister is the youngest volcano of the three. Rising to 10,358 feet, the South Sister is also the tallest. Since it is the youngest, it has been categorized as dormant and has the possibility of erupting yet again. The last eruption of the South Sister is dated about 2,000 years ago. Its gentle rise above the foothills provides a great opportunity for mountaineers to hike its summit. The South and Middle Sisters are known as major composite volcanoes and have erupted repeatedly over centuries with very large and long-lived explosive periods. The Middle Sister rises to 10,047 feet and is a major composite volcano. It's younger than the North Sister but older than the South Sister. Glaciers have advanced and retreated over these mountains over many centuries. Collier Glacier is the largest glacier in the Central Oregon Cascade Range and has its source at the northwest flank of the Middle Sister. At 10,085 feet, the North Sister is the oldest peak in the chain and is fully extinct. The North Sister is a mafic volcano. Mafic volcanoes usually erupt less explosively, and these explosions are generally short-lived. As we pass around the North Sister, it's quite evident the amount of lava flow from past eruptions this mountain has produced. To some people, being so close to these mountains, knowing the explosive power they once had, or potentially have, can be a little disconcerting. Just north of the North Sister is the Belknap Shield volcano. It's an impressive sight when you realize it's the beginning of a mountain which never completed to rise to the stature of the other Central Cascade Mountains. Its huge lava flow, or broad shield, covers 5 miles in diameter and is estimated to be 1,700 feet in maximum thickness and 1.3 cubic miles in volume. In the summer, you can take a highway right through the center of the flow. All in all, it's one of the few places in the Pacific Northwest you can view such a massive lava flow up so close. To the north of Belknap Shield volcano is an impressive peak called Mount Washington. At 7,800 feet, Mount Washington is most distinctive by its sharp single peak jetting into the sky. As one drives over from Eugene to Bend, Highway US 20 offers a great view of this mountain during every season of the year. Even though it's not a major volcano in the Central Cascades, Black Butte is no less impressive. Its perfect cone-like shape makes it stand out on the east side of the Cascades. Several lakes, such as Subtle Lake at the base of the mountain, offers great fishing and camping. The base of Black Butte is also home to the springs of the Metolius. The water from this spring flows in such high volume that it forms a major river in the Deschutes Basin. So many of the Central Cascade Mountains are stunningly beautiful. But one of the most distinctive is Three-Fingered Jack. Over many years, this volcano has been eroded by glaciers, giving it a distinctive look among the other mountains in the area. As we get closer to the mountain, it's easy to see the volcanic layers in the peak, such as the red hues on the north side. It's a mountain climber's dream, with many difficult paths to traverse. One of the most northerly volcanoes in the Central Cascades is Mount Jefferson. At 10,495 feet, Mount Jefferson is regarded as an extinct volcano. It is one of the 13 major volcanic centers in the Cascade Range and has repeatedly erupted for thousands of years. As we make our way around the north side of the mountain, the view may remind you of the Alps in Europe. Simply a stunning view. Geologic evidence shows that Mount Jefferson was capable of large explosive eruptions, and its ash has been found as far away as southeast Idaho, several hundred miles to the east. There's no fear of future eruptions because the last volcanic activity of this great mountain was thought to have been over 10,000 years ago. Mount Jefferson has several glaciers on its flanks, which keeps it covered in ice and snow most of the year. Surrounding this volcano is the Mount Jefferson Wilderness Area, a wonderful place for hiking, camping, fishing, and many other recreational sports. To the east of the South Sister is Broken Top. Broken Top is an extinct volcano which has been deeply cut by glaciers over the centuries. Its crater is in plain view, and its peaks reach over 9,000 feet. It is estimated to be older than the South Sister, but its age relation to the Middle and North Sisters are unknown. Broken Top is within the Three Sisters wilderness and vehicles are not permitted near the mountain. But a nice view can be seen from Century Drive. Central Oregon has seen many catastrophic volcanic events, some just 1,000 years ago. Newberry Crater is no exception. As we approach the flanks of this once 10,000-foot mountain, we see evidence of Mount Newberry's destructive capability. Recent lava flows on the west side of the crater spill out over the valley, looking as though it just happened in the last decade. The unique feature about these flows is that even though they buried most of the forest in its path, some trees have survived and flourished. The well-marked paved trails can take the average hiker on an extraordinary historic geologic route. As we approach Newberry Crater, it's evident that a large volcanic mountain peak used to exist here. It's among the largest quaternary volcanoes in the conterminous United States. It's a shield volcano with a caldera. It covers an area in excess of 500 square miles. Just like Crater Lake, 70 miles to the southwest, this peak disappeared in a major eruption. Yet, in the case of Newberry Crater, the entire top of the mountain imploded rather than exploded out. The only part of the original mountain is Paulina Peak, which you can't miss because it's the tallest part of the Newberry Crater at 7,985 feet. The crater contains two alpine lakes, Paulina Lake and East Lake. They are separated by a center cone and several lava flows. One of the unique differences between the two lakes is that East Lake freezes over in the winter, but Paulina Lake never does. This is because of the hot springs found on the north side of the lake. A unique feature about East Lake is that it has no runoff such as a stream, yet always stays at relatively the same level year-round. Paulina Lake empties on the west side and forms several falls as it makes its way towards the valley. Two resorts and several vacation homes line the lakes where families enjoy great fishing and a relaxing time and a wonderful view. A small network of roads covers the inside of the crater, providing many incredible vistas. Newberry Crater became a national volcanic monument in 1990 by an act of Congress. It's named for Dr. John Strong Newberry, a physician and naturalist who accompanied the 1855 Topographic Corps expedition, mapping future railroad routes in Central Oregon. It is one of the most studied geological sites in the lower 48 states because of all the recent volcanic activity. At least 25 vents on the flanks and summit have been active during several eruptive episodes in the last few thousand years. About 30% of the area within the monument is covered by volcanic materials dating during this time period. The most recent eruption happened 1,300 years ago. Thus, the volcano's long history and recent activity indicate that Newberry is a dormant volcano. Besides Paulina Peak, one of the most prolific features of Newberry Crater is the Big Obsidian Flow. It covers over 700 acres and is the newest flow in the monument. It's about 6,000 feet long and in some places is thicker than 65 feet. As we leave the monument, you will notice on the gently sloping flanks more than 400 cinder cones and fissure vents. Few other volcanoes in the world contain so many. They are thought to have risen up from the implosion of Mount Newberry. Larger cones in the area rise as high as 500 feet, but most average between 200 and 300 feet. Lava Butte to the west is thought to have been created during the major implosion of Mount Newbury.